Hey everybody, welcome to the garden. I hope you're having a great day. Shout out to the lemon and lime lovers and everybody in between. It's time for a crypto highlight video. And if you're interested in any of the services I provide, please check out the links in the description below for the Patreon and Discord. Okay, guys, so what was recommended me to look at was Cake USDT. So this is the next highlight video. And in case you want me to highlight an asset for you, make sure to become a member of one of the three services I provide, whether it's the swing trading, day trading, or tutoring services. Make sure to become a member if you want me to highlight assets just for you. Okay, so looking on the monthly time frame, not that much information. We have some information here. I mean, obviously we're in a macro downtrend, but we've actually had a nice pop over the last couple months. We are retracing back on this pop. How far we've come down, I would say almost 80% of this move, maybe a little bit more. But other than that, we can't really get much more information beyond that. We do have a very, very large bearish fair value gap right here on the monthly time frame. So let's keep that here. So we'll keep this fair value gap on here, as this is likely to be, a target for upside. If we should get a bullish impulse, this would be the first zone to watch out for anyway. All right, let's go down to the weekly, see if we can see anything else. So we've tapped into that monthly fair value gap, and it does overlay with the weekly one right here. Other than that, not much more information. I mean, a trend line, I guess we can see this trend line here. So we have a couple trend lines here, but it's mainly just this one to this one here. We'll make this black so we know it's off the weekly time frame, and we can maybe pull this back just a bit, something like this. Okay, so you're grabbing this high pivot here, this high pivot here, and then this pivot right here. Okay, so it's this trend line is somewhat significant. But right now, price isn't that close to it. But if we are going to get towards this red zone up here, this fair value gap zone here, this trend line is going to have to break prior. Other than that, I'm not seeing any downside stuff. Let's mark the low of the week here. So this weekly low here, and I actually think this is the all-time low for Cake. Yes, I believe so, at least on the Binance chart. So we'll pop that down there. So we do have this all-time low. It's clear as day that we lost this small uptrend that we had from here to here. Okay, so we lost this trend line, so we don't really need that on the chart, but we can tell that we've lost it, and now we're retracing back. The question is, where will this end? Will this either have a continuation by breaking this low and making another leg down, or are we going to try and make a higher low from this all-time low right here? And that's definitely a possibility. The levels I would be looking for are some sort of fair value gap level or liquidity level. On the weekly, I'm not seeing much here. A lot of it's already been grabbed. Let's go down to the daily, see if there's potentially clear levels to look for. So we took out this low pivot, took out this low pivot. So we've grabbed the liquidity under this zone, and now we're coming into this low pivot down here, and the liquidity that's been pooling here. We've already filled the fair value gap that was from here at 340 all the way down to 3.246. So that's already been filled for the most part. And the next fair value gap that I can see, it's actually quite a small one right here. This is a bullish fair value gap right here, very, very small. Filling this fair value gap will likely take out all the liquidity under this low pivot right here. So this would be the level I'm looking for right now in the short term, and potentially spike lower to grab liquidity under this small consolidation here. So this consolidation, all the liquidity there is likely going to get targeted. And then from there, we'll be looking for some sort of higher low structure. Now, we may already be building that out, okay? So reason why is if we look at the retracement from here to here, I want to say it's about 80%, maybe a little bit more. So let's actually do a fib retracement from this low to the high up here. So we're looking at, or is it right? This wick. I mean, we could go from this wick. So we'll go from the high wicks here. So we actually tapped the 78.6, so it is pretty much an 80% retracement. If we're going from the high wick here, that spiked the weekly downtrend line. So we are potentially making the higher low structure if we're going to have one, right? And this higher low may only lead to a test of this descending trend line. Doesn't mean it's going to successfully break it. But if we do start taking out lower levels, the liquidity levels down here, then watch for the all-time low to get tested, and it's going to be very, very difficult for it to actually hold as support. I would be looking for potentially a pop up here sometime within 2 to 3 weeks, coming up towards this descending trend line. And from there, I would observe the price action to see, are we going to see some sort of continuation of structure to the upside? So pretty much hitting the trend line, failing, doing a bullish consolidation, and then breaking out. That would be the ideal that I would be looking for. And once we break from this descending trend line, that's when this monthly fair value gap zone becomes the ultimate target level to grab the liquidity above this consolidation and potentially make a double bottom structure, an Adam and Eve double bottom structure, so something like this. This is a pretty interesting structure. I actually have to be somewhat bullish when I'm looking at it on a larger frame. But short term, I am bearish. I do think it's very, very likely, just going off of what I'm seeing, the probabilities are very, very high, that we at least come back down towards this fair value gap down here to fill this. And then once we do that, we should actually have enough fuel to make a nice little bounce, at least back towards this descending trend line. Okay, so I would look to play this as a bottoming structure because the risk reward's a lot better. I would try to get as low as I possibly can, and then your invalidation point is simply the all-time low. So if you start taking this out and it's a decisive breakdown, you can look to just close out, take your loss. Again, it's not financial advice, it's just my recommendation on how I would trade it. I'm just sharing my strategy if I was trading this. So if you're going to trade it off of the video here, make sure that you have your risk under control. It's your decision. You know what you can or cannot lose, and never go into something 100%. Always be of the mindset that whatever bad's going to happen is likely going to happen. So be prepared for something bad, and if it happens, at least you're prepared. If it doesn't happen, at least you were prepared. That's the way I think about it, at least. Okay. So I would say I'm bullish midterm, but I am bearish in the short term. And then long term, well, it depends on how price, if we do break out, how price interacts with this fair value gap, and if we can actually decisively take out this high wick. Will we have a bullish retracement back down? Then I may have a much more longer view of bullish activity coming up towards these higher imbalances up here. Okay, and if we break down, then you're looking for a breakdown will lead to new all-time lows, obviously. So we don't really have any data in the past to tell us what may be. But a breakdown, if we're doing a retracement, so we'll use the fib. Why not? So we'll use a retracement fib from here to here, so back to where we were looking, pull back, and then these would be the levels down here. So you're looking at anywhere from $1.78 all the way down to 13 cents if it's going to go all the way back down and retrace pretty much the 1-to-1. Okay, so the 1-to-1 retracement from this swing low to this swing high, the full extended move would be 13 cents, and then as high as 1.78, so $1.78. So this would be the zone to watch out for if we do start breaking down. Again, another reason why you want to make sure to use the current all-time low as your invalidation point, because price can go far lower if we start losing this level. All right, guys. All right, everyone, that is it. That is it for this crypto highlight video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked the content. If you did, make sure to give me a like, a subscribe, maybe a share or two. Definitely leave a comment on whether you agree or disagree with my analysis and tell me why. If you haven't joined the Discord, please do so. We have a great community there and slowly growing, and I'd love for you to be a part of it. And if you want to learn how to trade like I do, or you want to have a call out, if you want signals, I do that too. Or if you want to day trade with me during the day, every weekday, about 1 to 2 hours, I'm game for that too. Just check out my services in the Patreon link. You'll get more details there. All right, everyone, remember, be patient, be vigilant, and be nimble. I love you guys. Take care. Bye.